Third, I want to provide a higher level of awareness and focus on the needs of the elderly. There are currently 25 seniors in this region, and that number is expected to double in only 20 to 25 years, up to 50,000 seniors. I believe that we must view seniors as a resource, a valued resource, and not a burden to be managed. And I think the best way to do it is to become an age-friendly city. That means supporting vulnerable seniors, providing appropriate, accessible, and secure housing, promoting home care so seniors can stay in their homes as long as possible, encouraging governments to improve personal financial support, providing services such as snow plowing and lawn cutting, providing more opportunities for employment and volunteerism, providing accessible public transit, providing opportunities to participate in leisure, social, cultural, and spiritual activities, and promoting public awareness and education on elder abuse. Fourth, I'm a firm believer in our need for service to new Canadians. Diversity is not just a cultural matter, but an economic one as well. We're facing a labor shortage as our population ages, and new immigrants will be the force in maintaining our economic prosperity. I support the work of the Peterborough Partnership Council on Immigration for Immigrants and the New Canadian Centre. We will focus on literacy and language training, computer training, lobbying for recognition of provincial credentials, something that's lacking, and better public awareness of the value of diversity and multiculturalism. It is important to me that we reflect diversity in our employment practices at the city and in all city-funded organizations. That is important. Fifth, I am a believer in the value of community-based sports and recreation. I see it not only as a social tool, but again as an economic driver and an asset that can attract and retain younger families to this community. There are some 15,000 people who play sports or are involved in sports weekly in this community. Each year they pay about $300,000 in fees to do so, and they deserve better from the city. I will be proposing to council that we improve both the supply and the standard of our sports and recreation facilities, and that we do a better job in bringing our sports organizations together in the interest of more effective communications and more effective management. Sixth, it is important that we continue to press for more affordable housing. It is, it seems, the issue that never goes away and never seems to change. I will support and promote a multifaceted approach to this issue, including support for rent supplements for low-income households, support for the development of new rental, co-op, and supportive housing, support for collateral agreements with private developers, and ongoing support for the work of the Housing Resource Centre of the CCRC. Seventh, it is important that we continue to provide a focus and a public awareness of lifestyle characteristics. Obesity, lack of physical exercise, smoking among youth, and the drug culture. These are all matters that deserve the attention of every government at every level. And I will propose to council that we ramp up our work in this area, particularly in partnership with the volunteer and not-for-profit sector, to encourage and promote healthy lifestyles. Finally, I want to say that the best social program in the world is still a job. The unemployment rate in our city is unacceptably high at more than 10%, higher than both provincial and national employment averages, and that is not acceptable. That is a shameful situation that my opponent has been very quiet about. He doesn't talk much about this one on his list of accomplishments, and it must be turned around. On September 21st, I set out a 10-point plan for economic renewal in our city, and it is my intent to work with council to see it through in the interest of attracting new investments and creating new jobs in our great city. In closing, I want to personally thank the thousands of people who provide social and community services to people in our city. And I include here the large volunteer sector, without whom our efforts would be sorely wanting. I will gladly borrow a phrase from Plato to remind you that a city is what it is, because our citizens are what they are. I'm proud to belong to a city and to a citizenry who are both compassionate and caring. Let's keep it that way. Let's work together to make things better. I want to thank you all for coming, and before I close off, I want to personally thank Delore and Carol and Andrew, Damiani, and Brian, their longtime employee, who I think runs the place most days. The others just hang around and look good. The Gentry has been a strong supporter of our downtown, and I'm pleased to see that you're making a further commitment to move into this accommodation. I'd also like to just recognize the candidates for council who are with us today. Could you stick your hand up so people can see that you do have an interest in what's going on? Thank you both for being here. And I notice in the crowd we have a former MP for Peterborough, Peter Adams. I'd like you to recognize Peter as well. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate your time. It's going to be great for our city come October 25th. Thank you.